Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning. Good
Welcome to
morning.
FYI. For your information, I am Jaretta
Yep,
Fernandez
yep.
alongside Sherry Duncan.
Hey,
Guys, it
we out
is
here.
Friday. It is Friday, the
Believe it or
20th of
not.
May,
Believe it or not. Believe it
2022.
or not.
This clock is just running. The
Yep,
time is
yep,
just
yep.
going. My
It's going.
goodness.
It's going. We
It's not
passed
waiting
half
on
month.
anyone at
Way past
all.
half month.
Yes.
Right? So there was the 16 we were talking about this, about picking up the pace. If you got things you got to accomplish, now is the time.
Yes.
Pace and power.
My goodness.
And here we are. Here we are. Fighting forward to month 10. 10 days out. 10 days out, folks. Whatever you got to do, you got to bust the move now. Got to bust the move now.
Just a bust the move.
Yeah, bust the move. Do something.
What's going on with you guys? Let us know in the comment section. I see some folks already coming online this morning.
We don't waste time. It's one thing with these folks.
That is right. That is
They
right.
ain't wasting no time.
We're
Good
gonna
to
be
see each
releasing
and every
the
one of you.
comments
Yes, we're
very
going to be
soon.
doing that.
You
Look at
people-
this sunshine.
It is a
Oh God, I want to be
wonderful
there.
sunshine this
I want to
morning.
be there. I got to be there.
You know, it is TGIF.
Yeah, yeah.
I am
Please
most
and
excited.
thank you.
I am always most excited
Yeah.
when it comes to
I so want to be outside this morning, like this weekend rather. I want to be outside.
But
doing something. Look at that sunshine.
I have been up since about 4 o'clock this morning,
Mhm.
and I have to
You go
complain
again.
first of all because
Complain.
the internet has been a mess for the last couple mornings. And with the private internet provider,
whose name shall not be mentioned.
Whose name shall not be mentioned. But the internet has been like on and off all the time. Like I woke, I'm like, did I not pay my bill? Yes, my bill is paid, but the internet is just on and off.
Yeah.
It's just it's very frustrating when you're trying to do your work and you have to work online. I'm complaining.
Just like you, I started internet when who was this company? Who were they? Gotta forget them now. But they were a private company too, and they were doing dial-up.
Oh, dial-up! I had that one.
Guy Enterprise.
Okay.
Guy Enterprise from dial-up, and I have found it. No matter if I get dial-up, platinum, gold, diamond plan, whatever the thing, plus, minus, it's like I get the one speed everything.
One speed.
They say we're giving you 10 megabytes, 50, 250, 500.
I know what you're talking about. When everybody was just hustling with internet and trying to sell internet all over, you were tricked into believing that you were getting a higher speed. You were just paying more money for the same package.
Yeah, it's like throwing coke in a different cup and telling me it's something different,
That's crazy.
Yep. Happy Friday, Long Island. Warren Figueroa.
Yes.
Happy Friday.
Hey, Warren. How's your grandson?
I saw Candy Narayan as well early on in the comment. Happy Friday to you. I seen Coaches there trying to say I seen a little while.
Actually, Warren had a son celebrated. His son celebrated his birthday recently. So Warren had a lot of things going on.
Yeah. It was been a full month.
Birth of his grandson. His son celebrated his birthday.
Yeah. Harry planning wedding, Joe.
You planning a wedding? My goodness, who's gonna marry Warren?
Warren. More power to you, my brother. More power.
I see Jennifer Haynes.
Jennifer's there. Jennifer, look who else just below Jennifer. You see that? She ain't telling me hi. She's telling Tommy morning though. Who's Tommy?
Hey, Beatrice.
Who is Tommy, folks? Who's Tommy? Spice Man is here early this morning. Good to see you, Spice Man. And I said Stanislaus Washington. Yep. Stanislaus is there.
I see Julian Mars is with us this morning. Joel Ward, Lana Rutherford. I see Magnell Bar. Hey, Magnell. Good morning to you.
When you got proper name like Magnell and Stanislaus, you got to be proper though.
Another birthday coming up at the end of the month.
Lots of things happening. Yeah, it's true.
That is very
true. It's give scope in no time.
Yes,
give scope. If you got recommendations, please let us know. Don't. I'm saying.
we got to show it. But Sharon, June is our month.
Yeah.
June is our month.
Believe it or not. June is our month. And the end of the month, which is somewhere there, right?
Yes. Actually, mine is before yours.
Yeah, I know that.
Right? So
you are the 16th, 27th, somewhere there about, I know.
23rd,
I know.
Yes, 23rd, and you are the
30th.
The 30th, yes.
Believe it or not. See that? June people, we out here.
Cancer.
We out here.
Let us know what's going on. I don't believe in those things, I don't know. A lot of persons follow horoscope and all those things and deal with.
I proper me give you horoscope say.
And colors.
I'm a loving, very quiet.
You see spice, man. Calling this thing red. I told Sher this morning. I said these people are going to say
it's actually pink. It's actually
like a rose. It's a rose spin.
Yeah, yeah. We won't have this amount of red one said. We serious like that. We have this amount of red. This is Valentine's or something. Right?
This is Spice Man. So yes, June people show up.
Yeah. June people. Ingrid King, we see you. Ingrid says morning to all. So morning to all. On behalf of Ingrid.
Larry Crawford here this morning.
Travanza Williams. Travanza, how are you doing? Good to have you, Travanza. Claire Capel, of course, and Sukshan Sudhari. Sukshan had to go and take over the people. 5th of July celebration. He's the 5th of July. Sukshan Sudhari.
He's right in Cancer.
Right here. Yeah. Proper people. That's where we get along. That's where we get along. Proper people all the way. Proper folks all the way.
I see John Jones here with us this morning. Also, Fitz.
Herbert Jarrett. Fitzherbert. Yeah. You strong names like that. You gotta be proper, right? And Fitzherbert strong too. Name is in nature.
Okay. Yes, he said, is it Scorpio in pieces? She said, Cancer work well with Scorpio.
You think so?
You see, I tell you, these people have it's a mechanism, it's a science to something that I have never gotten into it. Not once.
The science. Yeah. Interesting. Vanessa De Silva, GT Boy, good to see you. Wendy Caesar, Sandra Peters, a lot of people on the live. Pansy Fields, a lot of folks on the live this morning. Cecile Ogle, missionary Jody Freitas.
Yes, the missionary is here always. Thank you so much for always joining us.
Beatrice,
you know what you gotta do. You gotta share.
Yes, and you all step up yesterday. I must give you all that. Yes, they all step up a little bit. A little bit. Beatrice said Dorita looks fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
It's like I need for here.
You're missing the color.
Stephanie King.
Bring your
Stephanie King. Keith Dowding. Pansy Field. Tomorrow is Saturday. Shakira Phillips.
You can just scroll. Is it Lindsay Webster says wish my daughter Tamika Webster happy birthday today. It's her birthday tomorrow. It's her birthday tomorrow.
What's the daughter's name again?
Tamika.
Oh, I see. Well, happy early birthday. Happy birthday, Tamika. Happy birthday, Tamika. And I see Vanessa De Silva says she paid $100 what was that? $1,500 for 10 pounds of flour yesterday.
What?
Did I see that? Let me see if I can put the comment up at my end.
Don't worry. Carol says Sherry looking good too.
Yeah.
It's like a pass.
Margaret says we pass like grass. Right? We pass like grass. Right? And Little Prack says that Fitzherbert is his middle name as well. It's proper people, Fitzherbert. I find so. I find it to be proper people. Right? And Vanessa De Silva says she paid $1,500 for 10 pounds of sugar yesterday.
10 pounds of sugar.
10 pounds of sugar.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
See? And this sugar, like, it come in like in a wrapped in gold package and all kind of work.
Because the last price we were looking at this at 140, and that would have gone up from the $70. But she's saying now she paid $1,500 for 10 pounds, and now she said that where she's purchasing from is actually at $150 per pound in that location.
Yeah.
So again, we're looking at it. I see Travis Chase online saying the red dress though lovely. Hey Travis, I don't know when Travis.
It's Travis' seat. Travis Rock can come in. Folks, and let us tell you before Travis comes, right? Whenever he comes, that Travis does not represent necessarily our political views.
He represents none of our political views.
None of them. Right? None of them. But Travis, there's a seat set here for Travis, and
when we're recognizing journalists that has been here in the game for some time, Travis is one of them. He's one of those people.
Yeah.
So we have to.
Yeah, we've learned a lot from Travis. We've learned from Travis Chase from HGPTV Light News. Just in case you all don't know which Travis Chase is. Same one.
Yes, that's what.
Same one. But there's a big battle now. I think I saw Freddie. I skimmed through Freddie after a long time early this morning. I don't read Freddie at all, but this morning something stood out about. I think it was the header for his column. And it's a big fight apparently between professional journalists like Travis Chase and social media influencers, who is more valid and who is less valid and all of that. But, Travis is welcome here anytime.
But I have to say say this. I think Travis has a balance between social media influencer and actually a professional journalist, because he has seen from the beginning the diversification of the industry altogether. So he did not just stick to pen and paper, and he actually diversified.
And I think too, I think too that
he's out there.
I think too that Travis made a little name for himself. A name for himself, a name for himself from social media too. So he would never discredit social media.
As crazy as it is, when every time I honestly, before I knew Travis Chase with HGP, I just always think Travis Chase as that was the name stuff. But when it comes with the new the HGP, I learned up after. So that's crazy as that stuff.
Carl Miller, like Travis Chase says, you're on fire in that red dress.
Yeah.
And Travis Warren Figuera
started this call this morning.
Travis Warren Figuera out of Long Island, New York, says that Travis is one of the authentic journalists. He's not fake. No, Travis is authentic.
He doesn't. I want to say that he does investigative journalism.
Yes.
I think he's one of the few that I see go out there and do investigative. There are quite a few of them, but he is one of those that I see going out there, stepping out.
A dying breed.
Some young ones are here trying new, and I commend them for their work and their effort. But I don't think that when they go on the certain umbrellas and so forth, they're given the scope.
Commissioner Cole says, it's a Travis morning. Travis investigates his stories and reports the facts without the filter. And then she hashtag newsworthy. Yeah, if I could like the comment, I would like it.
You see, Travis, how you need to be on.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Travis is much loved in these parts.
Yes.
On good days. Travis, on Fridays, when you party. But good to have you on the live, Travis Chase.
I see, it's Little saying Travis Chase has created a brand as a credible source of information that people believe in. And I think that's what it is,
Correct.
You have that.
You see, Dorita only seen some comments. Let me show you one that she run past. Right? June Ann McDonald says, you both look cute. God bless. You see that? But you didn't see that. Right? Let me highlight June Ann comment, please. June Ann says, you both look cute. Thank you, June Ann. Right? June Ann has good vision. See that?
Candace Chan have one for you. Just read it.
Candace Chan. Where's the old eyes? Oh, Candace says, good morning, my beautiful family. Lady in red, I love the dress. Sherrod hairstyle is on point. Thank you, Candy. Respect and manners. Finally, some people with good eyesight. Finally, some people with good eyesight and a good journalist for once. Travis, respect and manners. Chanel Belgrave and all the other folks on the live this morning. That's how we sit. I don't know if anybody else in the world says like that. But people say, I on the live. I'm the live. Watching the live. So live is a noun. I think live might have been a verb. It's a noun. On the live. Lynn Finance is here, Dorita. Hey, Lynn, namesake.
And met Lynn recently. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love her spirit, her energy.
Proper big woman.
Welcoming and all
proper big.
Yes.
And Lynn, I was telling Dorita after we met. Mind you, my mother's name is Lynette.
Oh,
right.
I didn't know.
And I was telling Dorita, Lynn, that you are my mother. Mannerisms, everything. Attire, everything. Your ebullient personality, your jubilant personality, everything is my mother's self.
Carl is saying there's a bar preventing us from scrolling up and down the page. Why is that? Facebook different. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. It's just different.
Yeah. It's Travis. Soon Travis come, Facebook got try something. Any other morning, people get through very easily. Soon Travis will come with the big self. It's thing. Look, Lance Burgess says Travis is top shelf journalist, not a fake. Proper comment. Right? Pim. Travis is top shelf. I like that. Top shelf journalist.
Sometimes,
right?
I think this is one of the few shows that you actually get to go in the morning into the comments and have persons in the comments actually guide the chit chat.
Yeah.
In the morning before we get into the.
It is always our listenership and viewership who set the tone. And I ain't forget how Spice Man led me down a road, but. Best places to see where we start talking about Grenada and so on.
Yes, he did.
Right? And then he had Alia Waldron the other morning.
Yes.
Just took us off track. Right? But we love it. We love it because it's you guys who make the programs what they are. It's not us. Y'all bring all this star power. Y'all keep showing up all the time, and y'all got some people very, very worried. Very worried. Right? Naomi Joker has a comment there. Right? Naomi says, I wish we can say the same about Big Smith. Let's drink Martino.
Here, Ganesh Michael says, I like quotes. You're right to Vanessa Finance. Look your frock, y'all.
Look your frock. Look your frock.
I love it.
Some of y'all easy, though. Some of y'all easy at all. But guys, we're so happy you're here. Pull up a cup of whatever you're having. We always keep a chair on the table open for you guys. Just in case. Never know, might be stopping by Ganesh, Michael, Travis. What would we have Ganesh and Travis in the same set,
I don't think it's gonna work.
Two loud mouths, We won't get a word in edgewise. We won't be able to get a word. We should just take over. Y'all just take over. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Just take over. But Ganesh and Travis in the same set would be something. Yep.
Something else.
Yep. And Spiceman says that's because it's the people's program. That is it. That lots of people say it's the people's program, but it's not really people's program. Yeah. Right? But this, we love it when you guys call in, you send in your voice notes. You guys interrupt the broadcast. Pamela wants to know where's Amanda. Yeah. Amanda's pregnant.
Listen, do not.
Amanda is pregnant with ideas. She's pregnant.
Amanda has not been feeling too well.
Same thing. Hope's a girl. A girl idea.
I think Amanda entertains that conversation.
A girly idea. She's expecting. She's birthing something.
Amanda is always on the go, and so when persons miss her for a couple, they get well. She hasn't been feeling too well, but she's feeling better. I noticed that she put out a post online only yesterday, and she's saying that she's getting better.
Yeah,
so we've been checking.
The morning sickness is subsiding. Rihanna has inspired a lot of people to be coming to Rihanna. Rihanna has inspired a lot of people, and Amanda, y'all can see Amanda just now. Oh, well.
Jesus, Amanda coming.
Pregnant with ideas, pregnant with possibility. Hope it's a girl, some girl like yours,
I think she's coming around, but she's back because we all miss her tremendously.
We do. We spoke to her recently. She said some low back pain, some vomiting and so on, but we're hoping for the best.
We get low back pain and vomiting.
Is that what she said?
No, she did not.
She said, I thought I heard that. I don't know. I hear differently. That's what she said.
I see a lot of persons like the outside, like the conversation.
You know where steady.
I remember specifically. I know Ganesh is in the comment section. He's remembering a particular activity that we went to that he wore a particular short.
What was it? What was the color of the shirt?
And the first thing that the dead head of state said, Ganesh, I like your colors.
Color, we are serious with colors in this country, boy. It's the only country serious with colors. There are countries serious with economic issues, crime prevention issues, health matters. None of it's these colors.
Yes.
Don't come really funny with your colors. Rather, Argyle, good to see you, and Beryl Crawford. If you got a name like Beryl, you got to be a very strong person. Very strong. Karen Black. Karen Black, good to see you, Karen.
Looking forward to baby shower.
Yeah. Sure of ideas.
Gonna come
National baby shower. National baby shower. Naomi Drucker says she's waiting on John Doe. What? Do you tell John Doe waiting outside? Naomi Doe story.
What is this?
Naomi Doe story.
I remember that like it was.
Yeah.
It was a local Granger. If you can scroll that one back.
Yeah. I can pull it back here. I can pull it back here.
I can't see the rest of that comment.
You won't get it here. She said he says you remember the look on Granger face.
Yeah. Ganesh remembers so well. Ganesh just showed up in a looking red shirt.
Yeah. Cord Anthony Phillips says signs of the times, grocery prices going up. And ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth?
Right? This morning we just having hot water. That's to tell you how things are.
I didn't know heat it.
She even got the tea bags.
I didn't even heat it because I didn't want to use the electricity.
Yeah. And she never took out the Carol stove neither. Even Carol gone up. Right? Just hot water this morning. Serious. I thought the tea bag and the hot water was one thing, but this hot water alone, that's what we come to.
I've been checking in with the scale and everything, and I think I need to step away from sugar and all of those things like Milo and so for a little bit because I've been consuming a little too much of it. So
more power to you. Yes. I wonder what man's scale saying. Must be +1. Your foot must be swelling too. your story now.
Amanda's gonna come and rock a coconut rock to share.
Guys, but what's in the morning papers? What's in the morning papers?
Well, since we are talking about babies.
Oh wow. Since we're talking about babies.
Since we're going down that. Pamela says lemon and hot water. I know a lot of persons do that. I did that for a while, but that's like a detox. I just want to add that in. That's a detox, and you just can't consistently do it forever. I think you need a specific time that you can do it for like a month or so. Yeah, but babies. Let's talk about babies.
Babies.
On the international front, as we go in this morning. Why am I into that?
Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. We're on the trend. Trend is skipping, and we're on trend. Look what's happening internationally.
I see.
Pim.
Basically, it's a boy. Oh,
it's a boy.
For everyone that was wondering, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky welcomed their first child together.
I picked up in my spirit. I know it's a boy.
You know it's a boy.
Yeah, say with the shape of the belly.
But you would know with 3 sons.
Based on the shape, I'm expert by now.
I don't know.
Expert.
So I know that the world has been following Rihanna's pregnancy since she had announced it, and everyone was like,
she forced us. We had a choice.
She forced us, right?
She's a turn, his belly watching. Every door you open, every window you open, social media, his belly watching you. We not a choice.
So they welcomed their first child, a baby boy. No photos out as yet. Of him. When we get that photo, we're definitely going to share. And then Caribbean people, we celebrate. Rihanna has been making us proud with everything. I know like Rihanna is often times persons remind us of our Guyanese heritage.
Yes. Because see this baby with some good cassava porridge and.
One of the interesting things, I'm looking at everything and so that and one of the headlines I read, Rihanna gives birth and welcomes the baby with boyfriend A$AP Rocky. And I'm like, hey, these persons are not. Look at that, not rushing into anything like wedding or anything. We're not hearing any indication. I said, when you see you at a certain level,
Asian stage,
and your finances in
people don't rush you.
Your financial advisor is going to say, let me hold it.
No rush this thing. Don't baby rush this thing.
Let's take it nice and easy and slow.
Don't let baby rush this thing,
Yeah, but
take your time.
Congratulations to the couple on the birth of their son, and I think I celebrate always when persons go down that line of family. I value family very, very highly. So congrats to them. Yep.
And I think everybody's looking forward to what comes next. Everybody's looking forward to what comes next.
Yes. And I know that I'm going to let Shar take you through this specific one.
Yeah, because I know back to the A$AP Rocky story. I saw one headline that says Rihanna and A$AP Rocky welcomes their first child. So I don't know if they were predicting how some other things might go. They welcome their first child. So it pretends that they might be others. Others following.
That's family, Family.
Well, I say that is people for you. They're telling you what is going to happen.
More power.
They're telling you what's going to happen. But as we on that, we saw a tweet as we on what's happening on social media and all the excitement on social media. We saw a tweet recently, and it got a lot of responses. And we thought, within the context of Rihanna giving birth and so on, this is a social media influencer, somebody called Talia. Apologies if I don't know all of these stars. And it says here that graduates of today, don't let your partner be in your official graduation pictures.
Yep.
Don't let your partner be in your official graduation pictures. And of course, this means that just in case later on, everything don't work out.
You're not stuck with a photo that with somebody that is no more.
Yeah, you got a whole set of spoiled photographs, right?
I have something to add to that.
As part of this discussion, Rita, somebody says that you couldn't even take one, and there's another tweet to this that says, my 6-year-old relationship ended on graduation day because I refused to get into their photos, knowing I wasn't in it for the long run. So this generated a lot of comments on social media, on social media's Twitter. And there was another comment that says, and I think you might find this one interesting, I wasn't even hesitant about having him in our wedding photo. This person is saying they weren't even hesitant about having their spouse in their wedding photo, just in case you just Never know. So some of these comments were quite interesting, right? Quite interesting. Of course, you had some positive ones. Somebody said, I was just thinking about how my dad is in my mom's pictures. I love looking at them so much. There's another picture with another couple, and this is an age photograph who says, my parents, back when my mom graduated with her master's, I believe they were newlyweds here, still married 25 years later. And so, in some instances, those photographs have aged well, but in some other instances, don't take photographs on your graduation day.
I see it from both sides. I think I can see it from both sides because I think a lot of persons that would not want that probably would say, they just want, if something is over, to be in the past and not have to carry that forward. But if that was a choice that you made, that was your life, sometimes you just have to appreciate the path that you walked, and don't be feeling any way bad about it. But I have a bigger issue when it comes to tattoos. Like all the tattoos. I have an issue with tattoos. Like people go tattooing people's name all over the body. I have no tattoos on my body. I am not gonna be ever tattooing somebody's name to my body. I don't care how much I love you. I don't care how much you pledge the world. No, I'm telling you, I'm never gonna ever gonna be tattooing somebody's name to my body. No.
I think
that is more.
Somebody treating knows has somebody's name tattooed.
No,
that's
I
within
don't.
the subject.
Actually, no, I do because I know this girl that she has like her. I know quite a few women with their boyfriend's name tattooed to their body, and I have issues with that. Like I don't, because many cases you will see persons with tattoos on their body and then they move forward in their life, that didn't work out, and then they're with someone new now with this tattoo. So when their new boyfriend is with them, they gotta be seeing this time.
You're wondering who is Fred? Fred or B. James down there. Michael by the elbow, but people have all of these things.
There's this joke. Well, it's not a joke, it's actuality, but I saw it as a joke that was on social media. What are you seeing?
Gigi Beck says, I am disappointed Rihanna didn't give birth in Guyana.
You see, but most places wanted her to give birth.
I saw Barbados feel the same way. Go ahead, Rita.
But I think that there's this one title that I saw with this guy that he, like, say for example, I can't remember the name, but I think for example it says it was Candy, and then he had it that tattoo wiped out, scratched out. And he Candy again, that scratched out, and Candy again.
Yeah, he had many episodes with Candy.
Then I said, that's a toxic relationship.
Many episodes with Candy, many episodes. As this whole discussion stemmed from Rihanna and what she should or should not be doing. You talked about, her agents probably saying, or finance people saying, don't rush this thing yet. Yeah. And other people must be saying, don't get ASAP in all of your baby photos. Don't put the father in all the photos with her and the baby.
It's her child. It's their child, their child.
Strangely though, I've never heard about ASAP Rocky before.
Right?
Never heard about ASAP Rocky.
Did.
Oh, nobody did?
I didn't see
it. Interesting. How many of you knew about ASAP Rocky before Rihanna? ASAP Rocky. And then that's the other side of relationships too. How are you referred to in the relationship? Is it Rihanna's boyfriend or is it ASAP's girlfriend? People have that hang up too. How are you referred to in the relationship?
I think
Rihanna's boyfriend.
I think title gets a little bit. Title is important. I don't know if for men, but title is important for women. Specifically, I haven't seen a woman that's not interested in having a specific title to your name. I know that there's a lot of thought, like if you have been with somebody for more than 6 months and they haven't put a title to you, then if I've been with somebody for 6 months and they're still introducing me, hey, good morning, this is George, something's wrong.
But I think in this instance, it's a little more than just the title. It's who gets the prominence.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable being John's girlfriend?
Right. First of all, I think.
Or it's just Drita.
I think when it comes to the age. I think age is a big player for me because a lot of times when you're younger, you're comfortable with this whole girlfriend, this girlfriend label. Like I think
by the time he hits is a man.
You know,
Guy needs a direct.
When you get older, it's like we're not kids anymore. You know, this whole boyfriend girlfriend. I think it just doesn't apply. It doesn't sit well with me. So more so, I would refer to someone as your partner. This is my partner, and you say that. And you say that out of. I just think it's more age appropriate.
Or thanks to Grey's Anatomy.
What Grace did?
This is my person. This is my person.
My person.
Grey's Anatomy, I think made that very, very famous. This is my person, and that seemed to be more romantic and cozy for some reason. This is my person, right? But we're looking forward to see what comes next there with ASAP, Rocky, and Rihanna.
Yes.
Rihanna's boyfriend. She's child father now. Please and thank you. She's child father.
I want us to go into as we go into the news segment this morning. I just want the guys are going to be wanting to sit put for this. I think that the Philippines have bits of news coming out.
Yeah.
I think that it's going to be more it's going to be somewhat relevant.
Yeah. Now y'all might be familiar with this because the Philippines we were following got a new president.
Correct.
And he's the son of a previous dictator in the Philippines, of course. And a bit of controversy swirling now because, and you guys, this headline might sound familiar to you folks. The new Philippines president is being accused of falsely claiming to have an Oxford degree, right? Falsely claiming to have an Oxford degree. As a matter of fact, this matter is so serious, right? So serious, Margaret Nelson said, John is your boo. Please and thank you. This issue is so serious that Oxford University published a statement that said that Mr. Marcos has never graduated from its university with a degree, right? Because apparently the new president, Mr. Marcos Jr., has been claiming falsely that he's a graduate, an undergraduate from the University of Oxford. You know, those things look nice on your resume and you're running for public office and so on. Oxford educated, Harvard educated, and so forth. So the people have promptly said, no.
Hold up.
Oh, no. He's not part of our tribe, right? As a matter of fact, he did go to Oxford. He did some not degree program. Well, if he did there, amounted to I think like a certificate in social studies, something like that. So Oxford came out and said, no, he is not a degree graduate.
Okay.
And an undergraduate in that sense. He did a couple of courses sometime and it amounted to a certificate in social studies.
Yeah, but that's interesting to know because persons that don't know, you can go and enroll in those universities to do. There's a lot of aspects of a lot of courses that they offer online that persons can go.
I understand the degree courses.
You can have certificate courses.
UE as well. UE does courses through its university. UWE's university. University of the West Indies does courses. You can do cake making, dress design, you name it. They got thousands of courses. And you can't say you didn't go to UE. In fact, you went to UE.
Yeah, but what you did is
what you did there. That's the thing. That's the question. Yeah. Well, there's been some pushback from the Marcos camp in the Philippines saying that he never misrepresented. Yes, he did. Right? Yes, he did. Nobody touts on any at this level. I got a certificate in something. You don't. You tout I'm a graduate because you want a certain kind of prestige with that. And more than often, it's either you graduated with a degree or that you graduated with a master's. And there's nothing to knock anybody who don't have that, but you got to own it. And don't try to misrepresent and say something else.
Most definitely.
I see some folks saying that Irfan has company.
I see Indrani is on point. She said toward Irfan University can't publish a statement.
Yeah, because that's the difference. And look, Nigel Price says maybe he went to Oxford Street. That's the difference too.
Oh.
He could have left the street. He went to Oxford. You forget the street. It's typo. That's the problem. It's a grammar problem. Typo.
I think what we need to take away from this is the seriousness of that altogether, you know.
It matters. That's what people are saying.
Correct. You can't just be pushing something like that aside.
It goes to your integrity.
Correct. And I think we have forgotten a lot of what we have experienced right here in Guyana. And I think that a lot of persons, especially persons that have worked hard to make sure that they have accreditation, certification, they have gone the extra mile to make sure that they attend classes and all of that. You feel very offended when persons are just claiming to have this certification altogether, and that they never did the work. And it can't be, I always say, it can't be the business of the day for us to continue down that line, because what are you saying to young people coming up, that they can just do whatever they want and not be serious about actual education and going to a classroom and doing the work? But I can say that you don't have to necessarily go to a classroom all the time.
Thanks to information technology,
lots of online classes and so forth. But you have to do the work, and if you're not doing the work, then you will see persons there in positions, in jobs, and seats that can't perform because they were never in the process of learning. So there's nothing to give back now. There's no sense of direction in your head, how to go where and when and why. And that's what we're facing.
And you know what? There are some days I don't even remember I got an LLB, right?
I remember every time you speak on legal issues, it pops up. You don't realize it.
What reminded me, when I think of graduation, is not so much the prestige of the university, but to know that you made it, because you know this. You know, this is no easy cakewalk for 4 years to dedicate yourself to rigorous academic pursuits, right? And just to make it to the end, because there's thoughts of giving up so many times during that process. To know that you completed this thing, that to me is worth saying. You know, I'm a graduate. That's what I mean when I say I graduated from UG. Right? To know that you came to, you brought a finality to that struggle. And I'm not talking about UG in particular, but anywhere you have to give 4 years of your life coming and going to that academic pursuit. And you know you're making out alive. Lord of mercy. That's what I celebrate. That is what I celebrate. And so, you know, as we're on that, I see the current administration is giving, there is some initiative that they're launching where if you didn't graduate from high school, and you want to go off to higher learning, there is some middle road there. And I'm just saying it's worth pursuing. And I'm saying that to say that don't count yourself out if you didn't finish high school. For whatever reason, lots of us got challenges. You might start at the back, but that doesn't say you can't go to front at some other point. And the point I want to make is that there is a bridge you can cross. And we've always had it, but I see there's a new attempt to bring more people who may not have had a chance to finish high school and so on, to bring them up to a certain level so they can transition to higher education. And we're going to get some more information on that, because if you can benefit from it, go right ahead. These things aren't, you know, any one government's money, you know, any one party money they're putting up. It's the taxpayers' money that are being used to provide these services. And if you guys can benefit, go right ahead. Push yourself. Don't let anybody tell you you can do X, you can do Y, and you believe that you can do it. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I think I have to go into that in depth to see the structure of it all together. But I do know that on the surface I can still see that there's some scope for tweeting and tailoring of it all together. So I definitely will go into that.
But you know what is important? You know what's important? That as you think about the next step, and we said we're already 20 days into May, is that you pursue these things. You got to get up. You got to go and look to see what's happening to get to that goal, that dream, to realize that. You got to move it from your head into action. And if it means getting up and making a phone call, if it means getting up and taking a bus down, you know, lots of people want to own a house, for instance, but they've never filled out an application. Right? That's what it takes. Right? Fill out an application online, go into them, get an application, write it in, put it in, right? You want to pursue higher education? What's available? Go into the university, go down at Ministry of Education, whoever is offering it, and see what is the next step. What do I need to do to get to that next mark?
But I want to say on that note, you know, with all that you have available, I tell people never once believe, that you are not entitled to go with. Once you are working hard, it is your right to go and access all of these services all over. Your taxpayers go out there, access whatever is available, and make sure that and make sure that you do so vigorously, because nothing is going to be waiting on us. And I can tell you, like, with everything that is being done right now, we have been doing our part, working. All of you have been doing your part and working. We're so looking forward to a next election so that we can change the administration that is in and all of that. But we need you to do your part, make sure everybody's always geared up. And you make sure that you are qualified and all of that, because we will need that scope of people.
And get registered. Get registered. The registration process is open. It's not house to house. It's continuous registration. Is it that? Continuous registration? The cycle is open? Is it that's the name of it? I know it's not house to house.
Yes, they said
continuous registration. Get registered. Dorita, I'm happy to report that someone who we advised quite recently on getting registered, they got through.
Lovely.
They got through, and they messaged to say that the folks will be visiting their home. Get registered. Like we say, you gotta find out. And I was happy that the person we were advising was finding out from us. How do I get registered? I got an old ID card from since 1942. And we said, yeah. And I saw Dorita pull up on your phone right away. Said, look, in this area here, you got option 2 registration place. Right? Go call. And this is the number. I remember you giving them the number. This is the number. Call and see. Find out what happened. Find out what happened. I see too many people saying, oh, UG is like this, UG is like that. No. You don't bother with them. They saying UG is like this and like that, but they got a degree and the masters and so on. You go and you got to do what you got to do. Find out. Oh, you got to stand in a long line. You want this thing or not?
Yeah.
Right? You want you want your ID card? You want me registered? You want to vote or not?
Yeah.
So if you got to stand in a long line,
so what?
So what? Right? It's not forever. Right? It's not forever. Go after whatever it is.
And I want to
get registered.
I saw Garnish in the comment section a little earlier, and he was one of those persons that was pushing to try to minimize that long line that UG had. I think it has reduced a whole lot, because I remember every year he would be there trying to guide students, trying to help assist in the process altogether. And yes, go out there, get registered. Let's not get away from that point. And let us know if you're having difficulties, and send us some messages so we can assist you in where you should go to access the GCOM services so that you can be registered. I've been sending a lot of persons through, because this is something that you need.
Yeah. As an aside, Pollyanna Schultz is very strongly about this red dress. Very strong. There's no accommodation for red Pollyanna Schultz. None at all.
Listen to me. The colors of our flag: red, black, gold, white, green.
But I think they want you to wear red in the same quantities on the flag.
No,
it's not plenty.
That's the color of our flag, and there's very strong representation and meaning to those colors on our flag. And I refuse to let a specific set of crazy people
dictate what color you wear.
No, dictate the meaning behind the color. Right. So let me just put that there. Right.
We still internationals. We're following what's happening with Mr. Marcos there, but this was happening in Italy, for instance. The people are saying you got to display your price of your espresso. And this coffee shop was fined $1,500. What's the currency in Italy?
No, but I don't want to. I think the essence of this and why I found this interesting is that I'm looking at it in the context of that their law dictates that the price is displayed for all the items. The law dictates that. And I'm thinking, like, we see major price discrimination. You want to talk about price discrimination? My goodness, you go to the markets, right? And you go based on the way you look or how you dress.
You get a price.
How you speak.
You get a price.
The price.
Yeah.
That you get. And I think that we need to have some way to protect consumers from that blatant price discrimination, and that sometimes is just out of control. If you pull up in a certain vehicle looking a certain way, you price different to somebody walking by. It's just not okay for us to go down. So we definitely need to look at when we're looking at consumer protection altogether. That is something that we need to try our best to control when it comes to prices.
Indeed,
altogether,
indeed.
Labels and prices. I never like to shop in any store that the price is not there, that I have to go ask you the price of the product. That is not okay for me, because it automatically tells me that the price for everybody could just change as you so feel please.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, this was a big issue on TikTok quite recently. You know, there was somebody who was very livid about people who, you have these social media store businesses. You have a store on Instagram and you have a store on TikTok, but when people ask you the cost, you say, inbox me. People say, like, why you got to inbox you? Why you got to inbox you for the cost? Put it up there. Put it up so everybody can see what's the cost. Inbox. That might be usually the very same thing.
Very,
right? People come and check your profile. If you look like you could afford a higher price, that's it. Right?
Listen, I know that there's a lot of persons. Let's just acknowledge this right now. There's a lot of persons that have these online stores, as they so report it. A lot of them never registered or anything, but they're trying their hands at business, and I commend the effort. Especially there's a lot of young people that is out there that realize that they can do orders and so, but they have to structure themselves in such a way that transparency altogether is there. And I don't like to shop. I mean, I think once or twice purchased something that black price was not displayed, but I do not like to do that. It just gives it just doesn't give a good impression of the business altogether when it comes to the transparency and structure.
I know this was a huge issue on TikTok, and there was a lot of fuming back and forth. Put the damn price. Why we gotta inbox you for the price? The product is right here. Put the price next to it. It was a big issue on TikTok. But look what else is happening, and folks, we've been following this quote unquote contest for the next Commonwealth Secretary General. The current office holder, the incumbent, is Baroness Patricia Scotland, who came here a couple months ago, and y'all thought she was looking after y'all best interest is campaigning. Baroness Scotland was campaigning, pure and simple. That election comes up in Rwanda middle of June, and something that is very interesting. Edward and Gaylord and Yvonne, Pamela, Kelvin, and Isabella. Very interesting happened overnight. The British government has thrown their weight behind the Jamaican nominee. Lots of folks in the Caribbean. There's a big story in the Caribbean. You see that little conference happening there? Lots of backroom hagglings going on, because Jamaica, apparently there's always a unified position with the nominee for the Caribbean.
Correct.
And it seems as though some of these Caribbean leaders wouldn't mind having Baroness Scotland back again. But Jamaica, said we have a very qualified candidate. They stood by their foreign affairs minister and they put her forward. And now in this morning's, I think this is in the Gleaners, also making the rounds in Great Britain, and that the UK has announced support for Johnson Smith as the next Commonwealth Secretary General. Now, Juita, and those of you who are familiar with these kinds of stories know that if the British government is throwing their weight behind this, it means that Boris has already consulted the Queen, who has no issue with this, because the last thing Boris would want is Queen to say, no, I'd rather the Baroness, right? But if you've been following this, in the very early, Britain has actually withheld some funding for the Commonwealth because Baroness Scotland had some accountability and transparency issues with her spending. They find she was a little too lavish for their liking. And now the UK has come out and said that they are backing Johnson Smith of Jamaica to be the next Commonwealth Secretary General. It is very interesting, because we want to know now if the Caribbean leaders decide to go against this. This could have implications down the road for funding and aid and all that from Great Britain. So when Jane Miller, the High Commissioner from Great Britain to Guyana, I wonder what she and Ali them talking about behind closed doors. Because we haven't announced our preferences yet.
Listen. First, let me say this. When I noted that Jamaica was holding on to its position, that this is their person, and they're not going to be wavering at all. This is who they support. I knew immediately that they were not speaking loosely, and they had support at the back.
Loose-lipping ships.
So that support that is coming forward now is not coming forward after the fact. This is something that they knew prior. So that's why they were speaking and holding on so firmly to their position, because they knew from the beginning that they were going to get support. That's how I see it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to know though when the history books are written, whether it is Holness who may have called Boris and say, Boris, I need you back in here, or Boris called Holness and said, we can back you up,
Well,
right? We tired of this one here. we can back you up. But interesting times. This elections for the next Commonwealth Secretary General comes up at the heads of government meeting that's happening in Kigali, Rwanda, in the middle of June. So we can be following. We can be following interesting times ahead. This is a strong endorsement, a very, very strong endorsement, and it'll be interesting to see the other Caribbean leaders, the other Caribbean nations, if they align themselves with what Great Britain wants here, or we can be rogue. We can go rogue. Interesting times ahead in the region, folks. Interesting times ahead. What else we got to do?
Well, we have, as we move forward, I want us to go directly to what is going on locally.
Yeah.
If we can move forward from the region this morning. And Sharp, we're looking at Guy Suko. Guy Suko at LBI. We see Guy Suko Research Cultivation at LBI uprooted for housing. And guys, as you know, we have been following, right? The program relocated to Blairmont. So says the CEO, and CEO is none other than what's his name? Sis Narayan Singh. And guys, you know, we've been following Guy Suko for
that's another sign we should go in.
Well,
that's it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We've been following Guy Suko for quite some time, and we have been saying from the very beginning that the PP administration blatantly lied to their supporters when they said that they're going to be coming in and they're going to be rehiring all those workers, the 5,000 workers, and making sure that it is back to business as usual, make sure that they are all employed where
they lied.
It was a blatant lie.
Yeah.
And every single headline, including this one, every single headline moving forward has shown that they are going in the opposite direction. Every single headline. There's not a single headline that reads or spells out to those folks that, yes, we're going to be honoring this pledge and promise. And they love to say so many times that based on our campaign promise, based on our manifesto and all of these things, and they completely failed to recognize that they went out there and they rallied around that whole headline of they're going to be rehiring these workers. They're going to be making sugar great again. I think that was a lot of the wording that was out there. And these headlines come out now and say blatantly that that is not the direction that they're going in, and it will never happen. So, and I want those folks there to just recognize it and realize that it was a blatant lie. I keep saying it over and over. It was a lie. Let us not try to pet it up. Let's not try to make it sound good or anything like that. It was a lie. In 2015, when the coalition got to office, they met Guy Suko in shambles song.
Shambolics.
Every single thing that you can think was wrong with it, that was wrong with it. You just think of it, it was wrong. They made it their duty and they politicized the process altogether instead of looking at any structural way to move workers away from it prior to 2015. Monies were collected for our country to move away from that when we were losing before we lost the preferential market. And this is what they did. They made sure that they did not do that. Persons were left there, the monies were utilized. They have to say wherever elsewhere. And then when we got in there in 2015, we were left to deal with it. And now, after they went and promised people, lied to people that they were going to be going in a certain direction, they have been doing the exact opposite of that. Every headline shouts of that.
But the fact of the matter is, they knew exactly where sugar was going. Sugar was dead under the PPP, and they knew it. They knew there was no coming back. They lied to the sugar workers. They wanted the votes. They lied to them, and now the reality is catching up with the rest of us. They lied, pure and simple. And what's happening there is that where's that again?
That one specifically
LBI.
is at
yes. LBI. And that operation there, that research operation, they're moving it to Blairmont.
Correct.
Right? Again, as Sharita articulated so well, not indication, sugar dead. Sugar dead. You can either bury your head in the sand or we face the reality, and you face the reality also that the PPP massively lied to gain votes in the last elections. Massively lied. And if they could go to that extent, knowing what the truth is, in spite of the truth, right? To get political office. What else are going to do? Drink some tea now.
But that's where when you forget about, you can put everything else aside. That is the extent they went to deceive persons. You blatantly lie to the people just to get their vote. And persons there, in those regions, they have to realize that's what it was, and they have to call it out.
What else people wouldn't do? What else people wouldn't do? But look what else is happening as we on Jagdeo and the failed Skeldon and all the other failures on the sugar. Sugar and great. It's not great. And they drove it into the ground, as you said. We knew this the day we took government in 2015, that they had lied to the sugar industry.
Yes.
Sugar was bankrupt in 2015. That's what the then CEO told the government. It was bankrupt.
To the coalition government. Yep.
But as we run, Mr. Jagdeo, Annette Ferguson is in the news again. Because as you guys know, Annette Ferguson would have sued Jagdeo for slander and libel, and won that case at the High Court level, the Supreme Court level. And then, of course, Jagdeo want to pay $20 million to Annette. Who's Annette? Right? He want to pay $20 million. Appeal the matter to the appeals court. And the appeals court is split in its decision, which means that the High Court's decision stands. Well, it remains to be seen whether they're going to go to the CCJ. It remains to see whether they're going to go to the CCJ,
But I just want to point out at this time, why this is even a case, and because they blatantly lied. Well, he blatantly lied about Annette Ferguson when it comes to her land altogether and the ownership of the land, how she acquired the land that she was building her home on. And I think there's a deeper messaging that is there that I acknowledged from the beginning. And I think Annette Ferguson was absolutely correct in her decision to sue him through the court, because there was two sets of messaging coming out of all that he said to me. Is number one, first of all, it was a blatant lie, trying to say that she utilized her office, to give herself property, land, and all of that. And it was not so. It was a blatant lie. And I want to add to that by saying, they always come out with these things as though they are the only people that should own anything in this country. And I think that's the underlying messaging that I saw from all that was said in that regard. It's like they should be the only people that own something, and who they decide could own something, those are the only people that should own something.
That's sad.
And once you own something that they can't align, they have an issue with that. That's what it was, Only them should own things in our country. Once somebody else own it, they have an issue with that altogether. And I'm glad that stand up. And that's why we have a lot of persons should go through that process for the blatant lies that is out there peddling against people.
There's another case that is making the courts, and this is the case concerning James Ramsahoy, and he has this matter stemming from the days of Linmine, believe it or not, James Ramsahoy. And I'm just trying to get the years correct, the years notation, because when we saw this information, what it said to me personally is that sometimes in this country, justice takes a long, long time. I'm just going to read a quick part for you. The Criminal Court of Justice has ordered the Guyana Revenue Authority to repay more than $45 million in taxes deducted from James Ramsahoy in a decades-old action, which has had its genesis in the 1998 termination of his employment by the now defunct Linden Mining Enterprise, Linmine, and the Bauxite Development Company known as BITCO. Since 1998, this matter has been in the court. Interestingly enough, too, not only do they have to pay $45 million back to him, but they're being ordered also to pay his attorney fees, which has racked up to over 33, which is racked up to close to $33,000 US. Yep. Folks, justice sometimes is long, especially in this country. Justice can take a long time. So GRA gonna pay him $45 million plus pay the attorney fees, $33,000 US. Yeah.
Well, I think that's some.
Can you imagine that, pursuing justice for so long?
I want want to add, we covered even a story recently with a woman and that was actually left homeless during the COVID.
Yeah, there's in Great Britain. Yeah.
Yes, and she actually went to the court and got judgment in her favor also, because there are so many things, so many illegalities on a daily basis. Persons that the only thing stopping persons from being compensated is their inability to access persons to take to the court. So that is definitely something that we need to look at, the way in which persons are able to access access help, assistance generally when they're pursuing
justice. Was long in that instance, but we're happy that justice wasn't altogether denied in the James Ramsey issue, again stemming back from Lindbergh 1998. Is a long time. It's a very, 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 very long time indeed, and I think we had a big issue.
Yes,
we had a big issue, and folks, we've been looking at the Agri Investment Forum and Expo. Agri Investment, and I saw Twitter came well yesterday too. I think we wanted to go to the expo too, and then you changed your mind, right?
Because I actually thought that it was going to be, to be a little differently structured. But when I realized you had to be at the culture center and then move over, I said that doesn't make. I can just watch the political speeches, virtually, instead of being there in person, and then I'll go and take the physical trip, to speak with the persons and the actual farmers and so on the ground at different days. So I'm going to go through there today.
So some of the reporting that has been coming out of the Agri Investment Forum and Expo suggests that there should be less talk and more work to bring some of these goals to fruition. And of course, at the heart of this whole Agri Investment Forum and Expo is reducing the food import bill by the Caribbean. We're right now, I think, close to $5 billion US. I think it might be more, somewhere between $5 and $7 billion US is the food import bill for the Caribbean, and they're looking to the theme is 25 by 2025. They want to reduce that food import bill by 25% by 2025 by relying more on what we produce here. And one of the big things one of the recurring themes you kept hearing yesterday, speaker after speaker, is the fact that it is easier to bring goods from the US, for instance, from Canada, than it is to transport goods around the Caribbean. It is easier, believe it or not, right? And we see it here every single day. It is easier, even technologically, to interface with US companies. I had an issue last evening, just to show you how advanced some folks are and where we are in comparison. My mailbox, my Gmail box is full. I can't do anything else with it. And I was trying to get some help. And I simply messaged Google through their support, a chat. And there was somebody around 11 o'clock last night responding to me on Google. Right? You try to do that with any private business here. Next morning, contact us at 9 o'clock, right? Or you call, please hold, transfer somewhere else. Please hold, transfer somewhere else. There's always some automated voice telling you, please hold. 3 hours on your cell phone or on your landline, still holding for somebody. But I was so amazed. The minute I text, mailbox fill, I need help. There was somebody else out there responding in real time to the concerns that I had.
I know your point, because a lot of times we need to look at what is really preventing us from going in these directions. And I think what you noted there, I think Rowley said it best yesterday when he was saying that, and he alluded to the fact that he was the most senior on the stage. He was the what did he call himself?
Senior statesman.
Yes,
elder statesman.
Elder statesman there, because he was the most senior of the folks that are on the stage in his political experience and so forth. And he was basically saying that he's heard these discussions before. It's not new to his ear, but what the only way in which it could press forward to actually be realized is that policy mechanisms are pushed forward to actually empower the system that people are talking about, because many times we go out there, we hear of these great plans and so forth. But then when you backtrack, you heard that, 20 years ago, they were talking about these same things. So what stopped it from being realized? And you would realize is that the lack of willingness to actually formulate the policy so that you can go forward. Because having the Agri Expo is one thing, but what is the takeaway? How many persons are signing on to any agreement that is going to secure some aspect of this so that we can move forward in that direction? That's the real questions that we've been asking throughout. And I think that when it comes to transportation around the Caribbean and so forth, those things, I think Rowley also spoke about that when he spoke about the fact that the vessels that were here, that were being used years ago, when they could no longer work, they were never replaced. And the fact that if investors really want to help CARICOM, they should be looking at those specific when it comes to transportation and making sure that the cost of transporting goods among Caribbean countries and so forth are reduced significantly. If we're not going in that direction, then what are we talking about? What are we here doing altogether?
Yeah. And some of the other themes that came out of yesterday's investment forum and expo, we mostly talked about the need for policy to protect domestic food production. Again, as you mentioned, Mr. Rowley, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, talked about CSME being key to the Agri Forum objectives being realized. And you cannot operate, and that's going to be important, outside of the CSME by trying to introduce some different regimes. So we still got to work through that and make CSME work. And then we saw a very broad headline that says that I think this was the Prime Minister out of Antigua and Barbuda, Mr. Gaston Brown. He was saying that Guyana and TNT needs to help the region in terms of fight the fertilizer cost by coming together and doing something with fertilizer, perhaps manufacturing our own fertilizer here in the region. Those were some of the discussions being had there. Quite an interesting day yesterday, all things considered. Quite an interesting day.
I think one of the things that we need to ponder on is another piece that I think was brought up from Rowley is that actually producing more and going in this direction, as it's been touted to go into, would be actually breaking down the status quo, and whether or not nations or countries within CARICOM would actually be willing to go in that direction. Everybody commonly sing their tunes of what they're willing to do or not. But when the time comes to actually ink that, that's when you see everybody start stepping back, but they need this and they need that. And I believe that we often see that when it comes to these collective agreements, so that to have benefits realized for a large grouping, you will see that it's usually the countries that are weaker would be more willing to push forward. But as soon as a country believes that they're at a position that they believe that they're strong enough to sustain themselves in some aspect, then they started to be more pulled back and all of that. And I think those are things that we were being warned about, especially when it was that then that went on rambling about Guyana should pull out of something with CARICOM. And it was Mr. Carl Greenwich that came back and said, hold up,
There are consequences for that.
Consequences.
That's
extremely dangerous. Yeah. Venezuela's looking at how you treat international agreements.
Yeah.
But a lot of persons are quick to say, yes, we're pushing in this direction, we're pushing that direction, but you need to ink those things.
Yeah. There's a lot of what they call in international relations protectionism. You're protecting your turf.
Yes.
And we see that with how we treat the Haitians. It's interesting, there might be some racial issues there as well, but lots of protectionism there too. And you had again Mr. Rowley saying, he got some of that same resistance. So, but it's either we can do this thing or we not. It's either we're gonna be for CSME and free movement of people and all that, or we will not be for it. And we have an excerpt of some of what Mr. Rowley said. He had a much longer and much more substantive presentation. But here's an excerpt of some of the things Mr. Rowley discussed yesterday at the Agri Investment Forum and Expo.
Thank you very much for your exposure. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, all Caribbean people, permit me the moment to acknowledge our host, President Irfan Ali, Vice President Barrett Jagdeo, and the executive members of the Guyanese administration and all the people of Guyana. I thank you very much for the invitation to participate in what I consider to be a seminal event. I also would like to claim the role of elder statesman in the front line, not on the stage, in the front line, because I just discovered that I've been around longer than everybody else on the stage. And that means I've seen this before, I've heard it before, and I don't want to hear it again. We know what to do. Question is, are we prepared to do it? And this initiative is probably not the first step, but a giant step in trying to get us to come to the point of identifying business models that we must implement with the support of all those who back us. Make the investments, do what has to be done, and utilize the resources that God has blessed us with within the CARICOM. The least we can do for our people is to do the most that we can do under the circumstances. And that is why Trinidad and Tobago provides full support and hold out the promise of full participation in every effort that is geared towards this very vexing subject of can we or will we feed ourselves. But of course, our people have been so conditioned. Just at the time when you go past the market, not enough breadfruit being consumed, not enough cassava being consumed, not enough dasheen and sweet potato fries being consumed, but they're harassing the government about not enough foreign exchange to buy imported white potato. So yeah, we have to make the dietary changes to fit our ability to feed ourselves, otherwise we are just vassals of other people's problems, masquerading as the wronged and the entitled. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an exciting period. Our young people, some of them here with us today are at school. 2 or 3 years from today, they'll be out in the workplace. They would be required to use the technology that they're being trained in now and the experiences that they're seeing now and the failures that we have had to ensure that their generation does not end up in the same situation, being at the mercy of those on the outside who will not come to our aid in a time of urgency. We have to change the model. We have to change it. But you know, the most aggressive conversations in CARICOM is about movement of people. Movement of people. Last 2 weeks ago, we took to our parliament a piece of legislation to complete this whole question of the handful of skills that we are allowed to move within the region. And what did we experience? We experienced voices within our parliament openly objecting and indicating that this is taking jobs from local people. We have to move away from that to a total commitment to being who we are and doing what has to be done. Otherwise, we'll have more conferences like this in different years other than 2022. And we keep asking ourselves, why not? Today, I would like this conference to place us at a fork in the road. But we take the decision to make the turn in the direction where we commit to an improved production system to give us food sustainability in all conditions, anticipated and unanticipated. I want to thank President Ali and his team and the people of Guyana for the very warm welcome that you have extended to me on behalf of the people of Guyana to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and to let you know that the closest relative you have in the CARICOM is Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you.
A lot of some points being put forward there by Prime Minister Rowley there from Trinidad and Tobago. A lot that we can say that, yes, the man knows what he's speaking about altogether. He has been around, and that's why he said he is the elder statesman there on the stage, that these are the things that needs to be done. Yes, we're here. Yes, we're talking about all the good stuff. And yes, we're saying that we're pushing forward in this direction, but these things need to be done, you know? I think he touched on some very important things that when he spoke about actually having Caribbean people, it's a mental change to change your dietary consumption altogether. That is something that we definitely need to look at, because a lot of times we are so fast to grab something that has been imported as against grabbing something off the shelf that was being produced locally. Those are the things that we need to start looking at.
Our palate has become acclimatized to Western foods.
But I think we mentioned at one program, and I want to say that whenever it comes to locally produced items, I always go for that. And I want to just make 2 points when it comes to that. Well, not 2 points, to highlight 2 products rather. The coconut oil, the coconut oil that is being produced here in Guyana. I use no other, ever. Honey, I will never be caught buying imported honey, ever, never, ever. Number one, you are overpriced. And this is how we got to look at these things also. But there are many instances in which it may look cheaper for you to consume something that has been imported because of the mass production and the fact that reduces the cost of production and all of that, as against having organic, locally produced items. But we have to work at making sure that our systems are in place to make sure that that local producers, farmers, and all together will be able to be on a competitive rate, so that when the items are on the shelves, the final product altogether, it is a competitive pricing that persons are able to utilize more. Because as we're looking at things in Guyana right now, everybody would know we're talking about stuff like inflation and all of those things on a daily basis, constant increase in the prices of goods on the shelves. So we need to have policy measures in place that's actually going to make it so that the locally produced items are there at a more affordable rate than those that are being imported. Those little directions we need to be stepping in order for us to realize all these hopes, dreams, and aspirations that are being put out there right now.
And we'll be following the next 2 days of the Agri-Investment Forum and Expo. And as we know more, you guys are going to know more. That's our time. That's our program.
Yes, that is it.
That is
it, guys.
That's
Thank
it.
you so much for joining
Next time
us.
we see you guys is going to be Monday, and it's going to be 21st, 22nd, 23rd day of 23rd day of May.
Well, I know that a lot of, like, my daughter will be writing, starting her exams next week, not Monday, but she's going to be starting her exams next week. So CXC is upon us. So we know that the students this is going to be somewhat of a little stressful weekend for students.
Yeah.
If you have a child that's writing an exam, and so just go easy on them. Let me just put out this what I've made a conscious
Be gentle with them.
not to ask my child anything else about schoolwork anymore. The exam is going to be next week. If she does any additional studying, if she doesn't do it, that's on her. I'm not going to be asking anything. I don't want to add stress to her at all.
No pressure.
During this time. Yes.
No pressure. Good to see Leonard Fraser here, and Marilyn Thomas. Monica Scott is here as well, and Delon Alexander. I see Gary Greenwich, and there's Simon Liverpool, all our favorite folks. Good to see you folks. We're so happy that you guys joined us this morning. Yep.
I see
whole
Yvonne.
week,
It's
all
Yvonne
week long.
McPherson, I see you there, Yvonne.
Yep.
I see Joella saying have a wonderful weekend. Yes, I am.
Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend, guys. We see you guys back here first thing Monday morning. Another program, FYI, for information.
Yes, and as you go, remember that it is absolutely necessary for you to partner with us. Make sure that if you haven't shared the live yet, that you do so.
Make me look nice.
I see Edward Gonzalez is on.
Smash that emoji button, Edward. Share the live stream as well, guys. And it's so important, every time we approach month end, we know very keenly and acutely that we got responsibilities as our end. It costs us a tiny penny, to keep all this going. The lights on and the doors open. And we invite you guys to partner with us. You know, hundreds of you are watching us right now. Thousands of people watch us all week long. Make that decision to partner with us and help us to continue doing what we're doing. And they send you know we got PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, MMG. We're available via MoneyGram and Western Union as well. You want to know how you can contribute via any one of these platforms? Our number is 627-6963. Yes. That's our MMG number as well, 627-6963. Please, guys, partner with us. Smash that emoji button, please. Smash that emoji button, please. You know, share the live stream.
That is it. That's the direction. Follow the directions very carefully. I see Isabella is saying to wear back that dress. I will. Sometime. Have a good day, guys, and see you on Monday.
Yeah, have a great weekend. Have a great